Welcome back, Handcrafted family. I am Jasmine, if you are new here, owner of Handcrafted from Home. And today, y'all, we're part of a spring collaboration with the dynamic duo, JAMI Ray Vintage. And I'm so excited, along with me and a bunch of other talented makers. Y'all have to go check them out. The playlist will be linked right down below. All you gotta do is click it and just watch all the things, subscribe to all the peoples, you know, just support everyone, because we just want to show you what we love to do, and that's DIY. So today what I'm doing is taking this wood round and we're gonna make a beautiful farmhouse tray. We've got JAMI Ray Vintage products, we've got Long Legacy paint, and I've got a discount code for you down below, along with IOD and DIY paint. So I can't wait to get started because I don't want to take up too much of your time because you all got other videos to watch. So let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Dark and Decrepit that we've used in multiple other videos to pretty much stain the wood, and it's water based, so I'm going to actually water it down because I'm running low, and I'm just going to go all over this board and let that dry before we get on to the next step. But first and foremost, I need to sand it. There are some little rough edges. You can find these at your hardware store. Mine is just an edge glue panel that I got from, I believe, Lowe's. So you can use this or any other type of wood. Cut your own wood out, which I plan to do in the future as well for some videos. So make sure you subscribe so you can stay tuned for those. Now that this is dry, I'm going to wet my brush a little bit, and I'm using soft white and Long Legacy paint. I'm an ambassador for them, so if you like to get a discount, I have a discount code for you. It's handcrafted from home 20 on longlegacypaint.com. It's a really good paint for a base coat, because on all the projects I've done, after I let it sit for a while, it is on there and it's on really good. The difference is DIY paint can be reactivated with water, and you can get some reactivation from this, but it's not like you can with DIY. So it all depends on what you want to use your paint for. I enjoy both brands very much, and I love Sweet Pickins for my milk paint, or old farmhouse finishes, or old-fashioned milk paint. They're from the same company but have different colors. So I'm just going to go on here and paint this, let it dry. I'll probably take a heat gun to it, and then we will get the main color on there and then use all the other fun stuff. All right, so the main color that is going to be here on this tray is Apothecary by DIY, one of my all-time favorite DIY colors. Like, this is such a beautiful paint. Look. Ugh, it's awesome. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get this covered, and then we will get on to the next step. Look, beautiful, beautiful color. And I didn't worry about full coverage with my white because it's just something that can peek back through, and if I go down, not all the way to the wood when I sand. We saw that little bit of crackle, so now I'm just going to give it a quick sanding because I want to smooth some of it out, distress a little bit of it back, so that way around the bunny that's going on, since it's going to be in that darker color, I want to get some of that distressed so I don't smear any of that other paint. So I'm just cleaning that up, and now I was going to put the stamps on first, and then I changed my mind. So change of plans, we're gonna do the cut pulls first. Usually I wait to add anything like that until the end, especially if I'm stenciling or stamping, but I don't think we're gonna have an issue because they're not going to meet up to the cut pulls. So we're going underneath them. So let's do that really quick and I'll be right back. Since I don't have a countersink bit, what I'm doing is using a paddle bit so I can make way for the top of the screw to go deeper into the wood, because if I left it on the outside of the wood, this tray would be uneven and wobbly. So I'm just going to go deep down into the grooves, and then I will take a regular bit and drill that through, and then I will have no issue being able to put the cut pulls on. set came with 2 different screw sizes. I'm using the smaller one, just making sure it pokes out just a little bit to where it will attach to the actual cut pull itself, and just put it on and screw it tight and you're good to go. I have secure pieces! Yay! Okay, I'm getting my weathered wood. We're gonna do the bunny first. I think that'll be the best bet. Get the bunny so I can have something flat to roll onto it. So just roll it, get a thin coat. But this is gonna dry really fast once it's on your stamp, so you've got to move quick. I'm gonna stick him right here. And I'm gonna press. The good thing about homemade, like handmade items as well, people really like the feel to know that somebody made it with their hands. Oh my goodness, I love him. This is what we got so far. Y'all know I'm a little odd and I use random things sometimes, so I'm using this staining sponge. I have used it for texture before, but I can't find any of my good stencil brushes. If they are around, they have wax on them, so I am just going to turn around and use this, and it worked pretty good, but you got to be careful because it'll pull up some of the stencil and kind of get caught on it. But if you're in a pinch and you have a staining sponge or any type of sponge, then use it. See if it'll work. If you need to test it and be a lot smarter than me and test it on something different, like a piece of paper or a piece of scrap wood, do that. But it did work out pretty good. It actually kind of looks like older ink. I'm going to stencil both sides of this, and sometimes if you need to, this is the JAMI Ray Vintage Stencil, the wreath builder, but if you need to, tape your sides down so that way it doesn't move, and I really needed that since I was using some random staining sponge to stencil my piece. So another way I'm adding some distressing or faux distressing is I'm using the Crackler Stamp, and I am just going to run my brayer all over it. Right here I'm using crinoline from DIY Paint. It's a warmer yellowish white, and I'm going to put it right over the top. I didn't want bright white like the base. I don't know, just maybe because I wanted it to look a little more aged. Now let's hit it with the sander just one more time. If you have an orbital or an electrical sander, you can use that. I just didn't want to use it inside of the house, and it will be a heavier distress even if you're still using 220 sandpaper because there's more pressure and it's faster, so just remember that. And I also like to wet distress. I'm going around the handles because that's where your hands are going to go. Things will rub off naturally there around the edges, and just bring it back wherever I can. Just don't make it look like a cheetah or like splotchy. You want to be really careful about your distressing. We have made it to the last step. I am using clear wax, which is the DIY clear wax, and first I'm going around all the black or the like dark gray areas because where I just did this paint, it can possibly smear, and I don't want that, so I'm going to go heavier around it, and then I'll kind of move the wax up towards it. Nala is extremely interested in what I'm doing, clearly. And then I'm going to go in with some white wax, and that will add even more depth and detail, get down in the grain of the wood, and then I'll walk it back. If you want a heavier white look, then don't do clear wax first, just go straight in with the white, and then we're done. Alright, you all, here is the final project. I am in love with it. That Crackler Stamp really added some cool detail to it. And if you want any of these paint products, I'll have everything down in the description below. Along with that playlist, please go watch my other friends on the playlist that JAMI Ray Vintage is hosting. We would love for your support. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to all of my friends and myself, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook, especially if you want to see another close-up shot of this once I'm finished. And it'll be available Saturday, February 28th at handcraftedfromhome.com. Again, please just check all the links below. I really appreciate you all, and I will see you next time. Bye.